ReAwaken America Tour. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand to your feet and greet Jim Breuer!
Here comes the clay. Oh, brother. How we doing there in North Carolina? Thank God we got a beautiful day. Yeah. I came in from Raleigh and I took an Uber, and I think I scared that guy. He was like, I don't know if this is the right place. That's what he was saying. I went, no, keep going. We're at the right place. It's pretty cool seeing General Flynn here, but am I the only one that deep down inside hope he really loses it by the end of this whole thing? Like, I get the rally. I get when he's like, oh, I gotta support America. Oh, I gotta keep our faith and all that. But I told him, I know there's a general inside. You're a general. I know it's in you. And I'm telling you, I'm gonna get out, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Because when's his last speech, Clay? When does General Flynn go up? What time? Tonight? Did you time the train? This is great. When does Breuer go out? What? This is when the real estate agents don't show the area. Whatever you do, don't show it between 4:04 p.m. and 4:07. That's when the freight trains come. And they seem to lose interest in Selma, North Carolina. Would that happen to General Flynn? What if Flynn was up there like, I have to really tell you all something that I've not said at any other ReAwaken tour. And I really need your undivided attention. Are you with me, America? You listen! You listen! Are you checking for snipers? They don't care about me. Oh, it's just that comedian fella. Yes, back at you. You can't admit it didn't come out for the preachers, right? Oh, we love Jesus. None of that. Wait till Breuer goes out. What do you got, a side stage? What's going on over there? Is that a side stage or what? Oh, there's screens. My apologies.
You're on it.
Yeah, I want to see before it's all over, General Flynn. We gotta piss him off, Clay. What pisses off General Flynn? Like someone in here knows. Is any of his kids here? One of his kids has to be in here. Just like, you really want to piss off my dad? And isn't that the speech we want to see? I want to hear Flynn go, you have no clue what's going on behind the scenes. I need you to wake up now! Now! I'm in my 60s, I'm almost dead, and I want to see America live! Yes! What pisses you off? Listen, this is good, I get it. But we need this guy. The people of it. You're dying to say something, knock it out. Oh, God. You know, too happy looking!
You know what pisses me off? Anybody who says any negative thing about this country. You come after this country, I will beat your ass.
All right, well, why do you... See, that's the guy I want! I got him and you didn't hear him. You didn't hear what he said. when you all went. That's what he said. He said, or I will F you up. Oh, there he is. There he is. I keep trying to tell me, please tell me who's wearing the Biden mask. Come on. Does anyone still think, A, he's human? No, B, there's no way. There's no way. I will bet every asset of my life's existence that is not the Joe Biden I saw 2016. How did he go from, well, if you don't fire that prosecutor, you ain't getting your $10 billion, to was it Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi that gave him a lobotomy? If we just do this, then we'll own their souls and everything. Come here, Chuck. How funny was Trump last night? If you didn't see it, he said to Chuck Schumer, he says, and you tell, like, he really knows it. He's tired of it. Trump is tired of it. I'm sorry. I'm rooting for him, but you can tell he's like, I'm getting tired of this. And he looks at Chuck Schumer, whose eyes are down to here from the amount of evil that's inside him. It's almost completely out. You can almost hear. Send in more immigrants so we can get the votes forever. And Trump says to him, you're looking gloomy. You're looking gloomy, Chuck. He gives him a pat. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. Why are you making fun of me? Where's Nancy? Nancy! And I was thinking about my husband had a situation where I'm going to talk about who put that under the record of what I did think. And then he says to Chuck Schumer, he says, hey, something like, if Kamala doesn't make it, you potentially, with your wokeness, Chuck, could become the first female president. Now, if that was in a hillbilly bar, you would hear. Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said? First female president, Chuck Schumer. Whoa! Come on! If that was Night at the Apollo in 1992, and one of those comedians said that, the entire crowd would have went, oh no, he didn't! Oh no, he didn't! It's trending on social media. Stop him! Bang, 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 bang. Sentence him before the court is offended. I liked when he, oh yeah. No. Well, yeah, the white dude jokes was funny too. He goes, white guys for Kamala. I can't do a good Trump. White guys for Kamala, which is fine because all the wives and their boyfriends are going to be voting for me. You hear what he said? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I loved how he looked at the New York mayor, Bill de Blasio. Terrible job, ruined the city. I'm not trying to be funny, I'm being dead serious. No, he didn't! Kamala, I'm not sure how to say it. Kamala. Wouldn't it be funny if there was just a donkey sound every time she just spoke? Can we start that meme by the end of today? You can't tell me that's not gonna trend by tomorrow. Just every time, like any question, the greatest question in history. This is gonna go down in history. The world is already watching when that guy said, I don't watch TV, the Fox guy goes, 70% of America says we're heading in the wrong direction. And what do you have to say to those 70% of Americans? And Donald Trump's been running. Our handlers are coming out. You don't think China was watching that going, oh my God, she's so funny! She answered no question, so funny! And people still follow her! Frightening. Frightening. That's I'm voting for her. See, the Democrats' slogan, I really would have more respect for them if they just said, this is our slogan, we hate him.
Might as well be it.
No matter what, we hate him. Because that is what they accomplished. And it's I tried talking to some people next to it, and they're still in the cockatoo zone. They're still staring at the TV. Are you here to hate Donald Trump? What'd he do now? What'd he do now? I hate him. I hate him. Convicted felon. Convicted felon. Convicted felon. You can't even make this up. I saw a guy the other day, and he's going. I love when they say this. This is the power of news, just staring at news. Donald Trump is documented like 37,422 lives. It's documented. It's documented. Can you imagine anyone that came to you with that number about counting apples, let alone someone staring at a TV going, that's another lie! 2,153. You know, I don't know where we're all going, but we do need to take a break from politics in general. I don't think any of us really know. I think everyone's scared about the election. None of us really believe it. We don't. But we're going to have to, let's say the election goes down. We're going to have to come up with something that unifies us and bring it back to simplicity. And I'm thinking it's going to be harder than we thought. You're raising your hand. Do you have a solution? This wasn't okay, we'll go with the contestants. Contestant number 1, do you have a solution? Man with the hat, would you like to raise and tell your answer? Okay. What'd he say? Jesus Christ. Okay. It's a good one. It's a good one. There's still going to be a lot of resistors. And that's a good one. We can live Christ-like, but the training is so good that everything's lumped in a crowd. So I think we need something more powerful. General Flynn.
General Flynn!
Or, ready? A necktie that everyone must wear at all family gatherings. And if you start talking politics, you get a intense high voltage electric shock. How much fun is this Thanksgiving gonna be? When I'm sitting there as a 22-year-old pronoun. And you know what? You gotta find solutions. Like, yes, immigration is a problem, but even us, we can't. You gotta find a solution. My nephew's sitting across from me, and he goes, "Uncle Jimmy, ever since I graduated, it's really hard just finding a regular job. They're giving it to people less qualified. What do you think of that?" Well, what do you think of immigration? Oh my God! Can we turn this off for a minute? So, I've been searching and asking and talking to people like how we start just open-minded, even if we don't know the person. So, I'm going to tell you a story. This is a true story. When I was brought this story just the other day, this is like 3 days ago, I just couldn't believe it. And I said, "Can I please tell this story in front of this North Carolina group, and can I actually call you so you can confirm this thing?" Now, it starts off weird. All right, I'm just gonna be blatantly honest with you. I live in Florida with Alfie, by the way. I don't know if he's still here. One of the nicest human beings, good souls in the world. And who would have thought that someone from Florida has a thicker accent than North Carolinians? Alfie's got he's like, "Let me tell you something, we're gonna fix these potatoes. We're gonna fix these potatoes, put some tomatoes, we're gonna spring out on them, it's gonna be good. You come to see the table, you're gonna eat good. You come and get real milk. Where is it?" And what's great is, he's a good human being, because I know personally he takes care of his employees. There he is. There's a man that not only stood up to the madness, wouldn't shut his place, you couldn't wear a mask in there, but I also know for a fact a gentleman that was going through some issues. Okay? Am I allowed to tell the story? You know what I'm going to say? I'm putting you on the spot. I'm sorry. But I think people need to hear stories like this. So, through my daughter and whatever, my daughter used to work in this place. She's like, "Dad, this is the greatest chef I've ever worked with in my life." But it's a bummer because he just got fired. Fired from, he couldn't, he had drinks a couple times. Like, well, that's sad. We never know why we're suffering, right? So next thing you know, we go to Alfie's place. And he doesn't even know that I go there anyway. I do. I go there anyway, whether he's there or not. I go there. The first time I went there, it's not the booze that sold me, but it was a little weird to see women shopping, putting celery in, and they have a glass of wine. I'm like, what is going on in this place? Since when is grocery shopping an event? And he's got you down like Vegas. You buy a sausage and celery, and next thing you're at the bar, and you're like, I gotta eat a 3-course meal. Oh, he's got a band on. You're going home at 10 o'clock with brownies, a bag of pasta. Your husband like, what happened all day? I was grocery shopping at Alfie's. So we're eating there, and my daughter sees that one of the chef that she loved was there. I went, isn't that the guy who got fired? She's like, yeah. I said, well, maybe. And down the road, I brought it up to Alfie. I'm like, Alfie, my daughter was saying, that guy had an issue and he got fired. He goes, I know that. But let me tell you something, Jim. He's got a good heart. He's got a good soul, and he's really creative. Like I've been around a lot of chefs. He's got incredible potential, And he goes, he was working there, and then one day I came in, I noticed he slurred a word, and I could smell the booze. I said, "Are you drinking? Be honest with me." And he said, "Yeah." I said, "You can't do that anymore. You don't come to work. I don't want to ever see you like that again." He goes, and 2 weeks later, I smelt it again. I said, "Wow." And he goes, "Jim, I pulled him aside. When people are drinking, they're hiding pain somewhere." So I sat him down, man to man, person to person. This is what he told me. And he goes, "What's going on?" And he told him what's going on. He said, "I'll tell you what. I can help you and we'll get some people, but if you really want to help yourself, I want you here. You're talented. You're a good human being, and I want you here. But here's what I'm going to do. You're going to get help, and I'm going to spot check you every day. And from this moment on, because I know it's in you. You are an incredible chef. I don't want to lose you. But if I catch you again, I got to let you go. You got to understand this opportunity." And this guy still works there, and it's been over 1.5 years, and people like you, that's a good human being thing. Now, am I right? Eric's gone, right? He's not like, get this guy out the bed. I flew in with special agents. $500,000 iron for this agent and that sniper. Ching, ching. Breuer's funny, but I'm losing cash. So, I just went on a trip. I went out of the country. It was amazing. I went to Switzerland, Germany. Nobody had phones in their hair. Hair. Why did I say that? I'll tell you why I said that. Because my next statement was, I was going to say there was no blue hair. Nothing against blue hair, but there was no blue hair. But I just went, I'm going right to the hair. You sit still and don't come out till I'm ready for you. Sorry. So it was very refreshing to be out of the country. And when I came back, one of the guys that I know in Florida, more of a frat boy, I'm not really a frat guy, but I hang out with everyone. He's like, "Hey, I got tickets. Do not judge me. This is what they call it, or called it. So I'm just saying as is." Oh, you don't get offended, please. I got ringside tickets for midget wrestling. Oh, I see there's some fans. Okay. Now, listen. My initial reaction is, that's not cool, man. Luke Dude's like, "Yeah, you're not ready for this." There's something wrong with this. And my wife, who is born again, Bible study, Bible, church, everything. Yeah. She goes, I don't think that's right. That's not right. And then the frat guy was like, no, wait a minute. A bunch of midgets got together and they said, let's do a show and let's travel. What's the difference between a rock band or big guys wrestling? They're hustling, living the American dream. And I went, you're absolutely right. Let's go see midget wrestling. So we show up, and it's a part of Florida where you go, oh yeah, I'm in Florida. Okay, there's airboats probably about a quarter mile. You don't ever need this person to be seen again? Gotcha. Here, gator, gator. So I walk in, and there, there's a couple biker dudes. They're like, all right, bikers are cool with me. But there's no, it's small. I go, we go, is the midget wrestling here? And they went, nah, it's out in the back. What do you mean the back? Out on the grass out in the back. Hope you brought your own chair. I said, are you serious? So we finished eating, and this threw me off. It's not midget wrestling. It's micro wrestling, because they're not allowed to be called midgets, because they're all like over 4'2". I swear on my life, can't even make this up. And as you're walking back, none of them are in disguise or character. They're hustling. Are you here for the micro wrestling? Like, well, yeah, I'm not here to hang out in a backyard birthday party. Like, what are we doing? Right? And so, and they're like, hey, if you buy my t-shirt, I'll sign it for you. And I see, they're all hustling. I went, why? And I see the little van that they travel with. Look, the little dude's like, this is our van. And this is punk rock like I've never seen. So I'm a little weirded out sitting in ringside. Okay? And they start coming out and they recognize me. They're like, man, I'm a really big fan. I'm going to take a picture. Okay. And we're hanging out, and then I start getting loose, and they're really good. Like, they're slamming each other. They're picking each other up. That all the characters. Here comes Mr. Pissed. I'm pissed. You don't want to piss me off, because when I'm pissed, I'll pin ya. And I'm all in on this, right? So now they have an intermission. And I start talking to some people, and I'm starting to see, like, as crazy as this is, there's all different types of kids here. Everyone's like, man, how do we start spreading good stories, right? So, intermission, I go get a water. There's like a little area, you go like over here, vendor, a little tiny vendor. It wasn't over there though. It was like the size of someone's backyard. It was small. And this guy comes up to me with a young man. And the young man goes, hey, my dad's a big fan. He's freaking out. He's too, he doesn't want to come up. And I said, all right, man, all right. And the father's about my age. I said, how you doing? And when I meet people, if they're geeked out or whatever, I bring them back to, hey, listen, we're the same, man. It doesn't matter. I learned that from my dad. My dad was World War II vet, drank Coors Light and Busch Light and Schmitz when it existed. Right. I'd bring him to Saturday Night Live and I'd introduce him to star. I introduced my dad to John Goodman one time when he was a star, and he offered Goodman a beer, and John went, oh my God, love to have a beer. And then I went to rehearse. I came back, swear to God, and John Goodman's gone, and my dad's sitting there, and I go, where's John Goodman? He goes, he drank 5 of my 6 beers. The guy's an asshole. Who does that to another man? He drank like he had 9 pee holes. Who does that? It's my dad, man. So, I said, are you from Naples, Florida? He said, no, I grew up in Florida. I'm a fireman. I'm a fireman here in Naples. Well, wow, how'd the hurricane do? He goes, yeah, it was pretty bad in our area. And I said, I said, I got a nephew that's a fireman, and my brothers are all cops, and my nephews, and they always hang out at the firehouse. What? He goes, well, I grew up in Miami, and we didn't really have, I joined the military. I said, really? He goes, yeah, I was 17, we didn't have any money. I was the youngest of a lot of kids, but my parents said, maybe if you join the military. And I said, yeah, that'd be cool, and maybe see the world, blah, blah, blah. And he joins the military, and he was too young, so they put him in the reserves, okay? So he goes, oh, that's cool, I'm going to reserves. And he goes, while I was in the reserves, I get a call, anonymous call. You're going to war in Iraq. This is the first Bush, okay? When we first watched that CNN 24/7, we were waking up 3 a.m. Yes, sire. We've got them watching 24/7 now. The mind control and the beginning of the new world order has truly begun. Announce to the world our new world order. And they sent children to Iraq. And this guy was telling me, they sent him to boot camp. I think he said Lejeune, I could be wrong. And he goes, we were over there, thank God we made it. When we came back, they flew us to North Carolina, and they said, from North Carolina, we're going to Miami. I said, okay. In Miami, 295 Marines in his group, all from Miami, are going home. The families are waiting. It's a crowd this big. They haven't seen their kids. They've had nervous breakdowns hearing every day, 7 more casualties, more casualties. The horror that a family member goes through is never in the spotlight. Never. That is a heartache that never goes away. So they're going through all that, and they're waiting for this group, and they take them to the runway, and they drop them off, and their plane never comes. And this is not the cell phone days. This is 295 guys, you gotta wait for the payphone. And so he says, we're all screwed, we feel hard for the family, we just want to get home. And he says, one of his officers came and said, you're not gonna believe this, but this is what he's telling me while there's little people wrestling in the background. He says, hey buddy.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, hold on, I'm just telling them right now.
All right.
Just so they know I'm not kidding. Tell them when you came back from Iraq, first of all, introduce yourself to the crowd. Everyone, actually I'll say, Mr. Steve Rodriguez, combat veteran, Naples Fire Department. Steve, you
Yes.
come back from the war,
Yes.
take it from there.
We came back from the Gulf War. We were reservists out of Miami, Florida, tow company, 8th Tank Battalion. We were anti-tank assault gunners. So we had to fly into Camp Lejeune to demobilize and go back to civilian life as reservists. They took us on buses from Camp Lejeune to Cherry Point, North Carolina, and we were supposed to get on a plane there and fly back home to Miami to see our loved ones that were waiting for us at Miami International Airport. We waited there for anywhere between 6 to 8 hours, and we started to realize that we might not be seeing our family that day. So basically, we saw cattle cars pull up there. Those are troop transports, and we were thinking, this is not going to be good. Well, all of a sudden, our major came out and he said, boys, we're going to be able to get a flight home. The plane's not big enough to hold everybody, It can only hold half, so it's going to fly down to Miami, drop half of us off, and then fly back up here and bring up the other half. And it was a billionaire that lived in New York that had heard that we were stranded at the airport for 6 to 8 hours.
And what was that man's name?
Donald John Trump.
There he is on the screen right there. Donald Trump bringing the Marines home to their families while they're stranded. And these are the stories that the demons will never tell you. These are the good deeds. This isn't politics. This is good human nature. God bless you. Thank you, Steve, for sharing that story. North Carolina, many blessings. This is real. It's a war on our souls. Do not be fearless. That is what they preyed upon for years and years. Fearless. Be fearless. No more fear. You know what's right and wrong. Your God moral code. You don't need anyone to tell you what's right or wrong. When it's wrong, you stand in front of the devil and you say, I don't fear you anymore. Rise up. God bless you. Be safe.
I know you want to say something, so I'm going to give you the mic. I don't know what you want to say, but I know you want to say something about Jim. I can see it. General Flynn, I've been doing these together. I know when he has something on his heart he wants to say, and that's when he's at his best.
Wow. So, I mean, this is pure right here. This is pure. It's fun, but this is a pure man right here. This is as authentic as you're going to ever get. And we have had such an amazing time getting to know each other. And these kinds of stories, I'm so glad that you brought that story out. This is the kind of stuff, this is about having fun, but the way he just finished this was about the idea of fear, because fear is an emotion that we all have, we all go through, and now is the time to be fearless, right? Our nation was built upon a set of Judeo-Christian principles and values, and we should be fearless about them. So it's time to get off our knees, stand up, and beat somebody's ass if it's necessary.
One more time, folks, let's hear for Jim Breuer and General Flynn. Thank you, Jim. Really do appreciate you. Now, Devin, let's pull up the restaurant here. Speaking about being